Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And we sing. Hey, everybody. It's the Ramble. That's what it says in white letters, and red letters it says Alex, and that's me until midnight tonight on the East Coast of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to do this for a while, and we're doing it in the best way possible. We're doing it, we're zooming this guy over here. Wait a minute, I got to point right way.
Oh, no. I'm right here.
That's Will Durst, and Will just beat my chops about what font I was going to use for his name, and he wanted me to use Georgia. So there's Will Durst's name using.
I wanted
Georgia.
you to use Courier.
Well, Courier is like is my least favorite font because it looks like you're writing with a typewriter. Yeah.
That's the point.
Well, maybe next time we'll use Courier. Okay, I'll give you several ones to use, and you can.
You sound like Woody Allen.
You can check it out. Anyway, this guy, listen to him. He's busting my chops already, and he's had a stroke. Now act like a stroke victim, will you, please?
Okay.
Slur your speech. Let your
I'll raise my level.
Droop your left eye. You know, do something to make us honestly believe you've had a stroke.
People say my left eye is droopy.
No, it's sneezy or grumpy. It's not droopy.
It's not Doc?
No, it's not droopy. Anyway, hello, Will. How you doing, pal?
Hey, Alex Bennett.
This is what you look like after a year in bed. You know?
Did you see Rudy Giuliani and his hair dye streaming down his face?
Yeah, I did. Absolutely. And the fact is that I have used hair dye, okay? It never drips like that. What he was using was he was probably using a spray-on hair thing.
No, it's a home.
No, I've used that home stuff. It never drips.
Oh, really?
It doesn't drip, no. I can sweat and everything and it won't drip. That was
he
like...
was sweating vociferously.
Well, there's this stuff they use to hair dye, not hair dye, but it's like a spray, and you spray it on, and it does away with the gray and everything, and it's kind of temporary. It washes out. That's what he probably was using. He didn't even really go out and have his hair dyed. You know, he was doing.
No, I thought it was like a home thing that he did.
It was a spray thing.
Yeah. Pay the money. Get it done professionally.
Yeah, get it done.
You're mayor of New York. You probably know a couple of hairstylists.
Yeah. So, you know. But anyway.
Good one.
Let's talk about your stroke.
I had a stroke?
Do you remember the stroke?
I remember not being able to get into my car, which was so confusing.
What do you mean not being able to get in the car? You were going to a gig. The mime troupe was holding a benefit. I know because I've heard this story before.
The Presidio.
The mime troupe was holding a benefit.
In the Presidio.
In the Presidio, in the theater in the Presidio, I guess.
Yeah.
And
a renovated theater.
Yeah.
Gorgeous theater.
Yeah. You tell them what happened. You got out of your car and you went to the...
I got out of my car to repark it closer to the stage door.
Uh-huh.
And when I got back, I couldn't get in. My feet were dancing, but they wouldn't go towards the door.
What do you mean they were dancing? They were kind of like...
Left, right, left, right, left, right. But
really?
Not, yeah, they weren't listening to instructions from the tower.
They weren't listening to the tower. Okay.
No.
So, then?
So I went into the theater,
Mm-hmm.
backstage, because the door was right there.
Yeah.
And then I tried to sit down, and I couldn't sit down in a chair. I kept missing the chair.
Wow.
So I did this thing where you slam your back against a wall, and then you slide down.
Yeah.
And I thought that after I slid down, I would hit the chair, but I missed the chair.
Oh
So
boy.
people thought something was wrong, and everybody came up to me. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. And another woman said, I don't think you're fine. My mother's a doctor. Hang on. And her mother was in the audience.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was one of those things. Is there a doctor in the audience? And there was.
Son of a bitch. You were lucky.
I was very lucky.
I mean, if there wasn't a doctor, well, they probably could have said, "Is there a doctor in the house?" They might have found one, but you were lucky that you knew there was one, and she came in.
Yeah, with mime troop.
So what did
With
she?
all their
Yeah.
all their rich donors. Of course, there had to have been a doctor.
Yeah. Well, if you were losing your speech, you could have done some mime, and somebody would have understood what you were saying. So
The San Francisco Mime Troupe, which talks.
yeah, they talk. They're not really a mime troupe. I've never figured that one out.
No,
Yeah. So anyway,
it's like the Sunset District where you can never see the goddamn sunset. And North Beach, which is on the north side of the city and is nowhere near a beach.
I lived in North Beach. I was born and raised in North Beach.
It's on the east side of the city. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it's nowhere near a beach.
Well, you can see a beach. Well, you can't see a beach. You can see piers from there.
It should be called East Beachless.
Well, then I would hate to have to say that to people. Where were you born? I would have to say East Beachless. You say, why? How did
much hipper to say North Beach.
Anyway. So you get the doctor.
So I had the stroke or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
I had no idea at the time.
Yeah.
I just knew something was wrong
Yeah.
because my feet were not following directions from the tower.
Yeah. Oh wow. And so you knew.
So
something.
then they called an ambulance,
Yeah.
and they took me to one hospital,
Yeah.
and then they had to call another ambulance to take me to a hospital less than a mile away because the first hospital didn't have a neurological division.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get you to the hospital. When do you first realize that the legs aren't working and the arm isn't working?
About a week later,
Really? You didn't realize it then? I mean, were they still working?
I
at
knew
that
something
point?
was wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, were they still working at that point? Or is it just you didn't try to see if they were working?
I didn't try to see if they were working.
Yeah. So a week later, you suddenly realize that your left leg and your left arm aren't working.
Right.
Your hand's working, which is good because you can still jerk off. Yeah. But there goes.
Yeah.
Well, there
with
goes
my
your,
left hand.
Yeah. Every now and then
So it
you
seems-
lose will for
So
a
it
second.
seems like I'm a stranger.
Yeah, but anyway, you suddenly realize that you don't have the use of those.
No.
What was your first thought about that? I mean, did panic hit you, or did depression?
No, they said I had a stroke, and we all know there are all sorts of levels of strokes.
Yeah,
There are strokes where the person is permanently a vegetable,
yeah.
and there are strokes where people get by and the next week they're fine.
Wow.
So I knew that. So I was just hoping it wasn't the former.
So what did they? It wasn't a mild stroke. That I'm sure they didn't say. But how did they term it?
Well, there's two kinds.
Yeah.
There's hemorrhagic strokes, which
Okay.
is what I had.
We're learning all about strokes here, folks. So
Which
this
is where a blood vessel bursts or
Oh.
something,
Wow.
which is what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's blood clots, and there's all sorts of things that can happen
In
to
the
brain.
in the broad spectrum of strokes, where does yours fit?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Well, you
It
look.
happened
Well, go ahead.
happened on the right side, so that's why it affected the left side of my body.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at you
But
now.
I can still speak and I can still swallow,
Yeah,
so that was good.
but I'm looking at you, and from the neck up, which is how we normally used to look at you, and you're pretty much you're cognitive. You're sharp, you're fast, you're witty. You don't have any speech problems. So basically, what happened to you was all physical, and that in that way, it's got to be really frustrating because at least if your brain was out or something, you wouldn't know the rest of you had a problem, you know. But you're cognitive and you're sharp, and you're witty
And pretty.
and pretty. I forgot to mention that, ladies.
I'm
and
still
gentlemen.
pretty.
He's still pretty. Occasionally, Will's signal goes out for a second, and we get a thing that says Will's iPad. But don't let that bother you. So the leg doesn't work. You see, you got to get
The
that
leg
going.
refuses to rejoin the band.
Really, and the arm
A little better.
little better. Okay, all right. So, do they think that maybe they can through therapy get all this stuff going again?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, but it's a long haul. It's a real
which
long
is why I'm going to occupational therapy twice a week,
Yeah,
and I'm going to physical therapy twice a week.
yeah, and
And Medicare won't pay for it unless they think you're making progress.
oh, so you now are they paying for it so far?
So far,
So
don't
you-
tell anybody.
Oh, but they have to say you're making progress because they won't pay for it if you're not because they don't figure it's going to work, right?
Yeah, why beat a dead horse?
Yeah, yeah. But is yours working to any even limited extent so far?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay,
I'm not a dead horse.
good. And then we don't have to beat you. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, because you don't want to beat a dead horse. Thank you. I'll be here all week. That's the comedian. That's the comedian over there. Anyway, so I mean, the frustration you must be having is to begin with. You always said that more than being a stand-up comic, you considered yourself a writer. All right.
Yeah,
And
I'm a writer
yeah.
who performs.
you're a writer who performs, and so therefore you can't even write right now because you gotta have both hands to do that, right? You're not going to hunt and peck it with your left
Right, I
hand.
can't. I already tried.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
I mean, do you send emails to people through your iPad, or you just
Yeah.
gave up on it? You can talk into the iPad has. If you look at the bottom of the thing where you're sending the letter, there's a little or the email. There's a little microphone, and I use that all the time. I'm tired of typing. If I can, anybody, for instance, sends me. If you sent me a text message, I would text you back by talking into the computer. You know, so
Are you 71?
me what?
Because your hat says limited edition 1939.
Yeah, that makes me 80.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I was born in 1939.
Oh my God.
see. I see. The stroke did away with your math skills,
Yeah, which is good.
which is good. If I had a stroke, I don't know. If I had a stroke, what would I want to have? What would I like
When's
to
your
forget?
birthday?
Huh?
When's your birthday?
December 18th. I'll be 81 this year. You ready for that one?
Holy shit.
I know, and everything's going, but I don't want to complain to you because you pretty well beat me to everything's going.
Yeah, I'm the king of
You're the
complaints
king of
right now.
you're the king of everything's going. No, I mean I got neuropathy in my leg, and I've got I had the prostate cancer, you know, but that,
Oh yeah, you had the cancer.
yeah, I had the cancer. You know, I somebody just said to me, now you can call yourself a cancer survivor, and I go, what? You know, what I had was prostate cancer at 80, which is like a no-brainer. All right, you live long enough, probably you're going to get prostate cancer. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, yeah. I said the bad news is I've got prostate cancer. The good news is I've made it to 80. So you know, I mean,
Yeah, I had a stroke. The next thing I have is a broken hip.
a broken hip. Yeah, well,
And then I walk outside the house and I go to the store, and then I forget where I live, and I have to call Debbie to come and get me.
yeah, right. Well, none of that's you have lost no cognitive ability at all. I mean, from the neck up, you're Will Durst. Except, you know, for the shaky camera at home, the camera was in one place, you know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah. Do the cats miss you?
Debbie says they do, but I don't know.
I think cats just care about who can open up the can of cat food.
Yeah, are you feeding me?
Yeah. I'm sure if you came home, they would be all over you and go, "Oh, Will's home."
Especially if I shook the snack box.
Oh, okay.
You know, the box that you shake, and they come running because they know you're going to give them snacks.
Yeah. Now, people go, "Well, what's the worst part about having a stroke?" And my question would be, since I'm not everybody else, what is the best part about having a stroke?
Best part about having a stroke.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's sleeping all day long.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite hobbies. Yeah. What else? They come and they change your diaper and have to take your shit away and your pee away.
Yeah, people change your diaper.
Yeah.
And you can shit in your bed.
Really? And then they
shit in your diaper.
And you don't have to. Number one, you don't have to feel guilty about it.
No.
And number two, somebody else has to clean it up.
You have to stop doing it when you go home, though.
Oh, really? Why?
Because your wife disagrees with the whole attitude. I'm telling her, I'm going to continue shitting in my bed when I go home.
Yeah.
And I think I would have to marry one of my Filipino overlords in order for that to happen.
Now I saw your nurse. What is that?
Very attractive, yeah.
Is that a nurse?
They're called caregivers.
Oh, the caregiver. Okay, you're in what hospital again? You're in...
Not a hospital.
It's a... what is it?
It's like a rehab house.
Yeah.
It's a boarding care house.
We lost your picture again. So
yeah, you did.
Yeah, there you go. There. Do you know why? Did you touch?
So they feed. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So they feed me 3 meals a day,
mm-hmm.
and they give me my medications, and there's a certain amount of care involved.
And the one you showed me, the one that I talked to when she came in the room,
very pretty diva.
Well, you can't tell who's pretty and who isn't pretty anymore because they're all wearing masks. But from the nose up, she was pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's pretty, very attractive and very funny. Very funny. I asked her what kind of a patient you were, and she said something like horrible. I said, is he being good? And she says, most of the time.
Yeah, they have no sense of humor. None.
Really? I mean,
yeah.
I can't imagine that you were a difficult patient. I mean, are you?
No, because they're the ones who decide whether or not they can bring you a second cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So you be nice to them, so you get that second cup of coffee.
Right. And it's a good cup of coffee, right?
No, it's not a bad cup of coffee. I mean, the last place I was at had bad cups of coffee.
Yeah. Really bad coffee? I mean, what kind of coffee
was
it?
Really bad coffee. What Folgers?
It was I was going to say Folgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Folgers?
And here they use some sort of good blend.
Is Folgers the worst coffee in the world?
It's the one that we grew up with.
Really? I was never a coffee drinker till I went to the KMEL in San Francisco. And then I used to just have a cup of coffee because there was a coffee machine there. And I got into having coffee. But you're a big coffee drinker. You do like 2 urns a day of it, right?
2 pots a day.
2 pots a day. I only do 2 cups a day. I do 1 cup in the morning of a double shot of my favorite coffee, which was Wake the Hell Up, Jamaica.
Oh, when I was in 5th grade, when I was 12, I was hyperactive. And there was some study that said if you overamp the kid, that will cure his hyperactivity. So they fed me coffee when I was 12. I just developed a taste for it.
Wow. Now you had here's something that's a little interesting, I think, for the audience to hear. You actually had your brain drilled into. It must be the reason.
No, not my brain. They didn't drill into my brain. They drilled into my skull.
I see. Move your iPad a little bit. I think for some reason you lose the signal sometimes, and then we get a thing that says Will's iPad. Yeah.
Certain angle, yeah.
Yeah, certain angle. No, but they had to drill holes in your head because you had blood in your cranium, right?
Yeah, the burst blood vessel meant there was blood inside my cranium, along with spinal fluid.
So they drilled a hole in your head.
3 holes in my head.
Yeah.
To accommodate a certain device,
or to use you as a bowling ball.
Which I akin to a carpet sweeper, because it took all the liquids out of my head.
Yeah.
And pushed them down another hole, which was created as a drain.
Wow. And so that and you were awake for all of that, right?
Yeah.
But what was it Debbie said? You looked like a character out of Dune who had all the wires everywhere.
All right, the father. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kenneth McMillan, I think, played the character.
Yeah, but you had it in your head. Okay.
Yeah, and then I had it the ventilator.
Mm-hmm.
I had wires in my head and a tube coming out of my head. Then I had the ventilator, and then I had a pick so they could just add IVs to it.
Wow.
And then I had a couple other things. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I hope there's pictures.
Well, let's get this.
I don't remember any of this.
Well, and it'd be nice to see pictures, but not yet. Once you're out of there, then you can laugh at those pictures. Look at me with that hole in my head, you know. But that lasted how long? How long were the drainage thing going on?
Oh, I don't know. It was about 4 weeks.
Whoa.
I was in the ICU.
Yeah.
The first time for about 8 days. The second time for about 6 weeks.
Jeez almighty.
And the bill came, and it was $1.2 million. But Medicare paid most of it.
1.2 million. Well, they always bill higher than they expect to get because what Medicare probably paid was like $37.50.
Right, and we had to pay, I think, $1,200.
$1,200. That's not bad. I mean, come on, for that.
$1.2 million.
$1.2 million. That's pretty good. My prostate radiation, the 2 forms of it, the regular radiation and then the prostate seeds, came to about $110,000.
Jeez.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, but I think they sent out a bill for more than it is, so they get more than they would get if they gave a lower bill. Okay.
So I think they get a lot of people go, what? And then they think, maybe there'll be a neck,
what's nice is you have bragging rights. And your bragging rights are, hey, $1.2 million.
I'm worth $1.2 million.
And by the way, it's probably more by now because the bill comes all the time. And what do they do if you can't?
Yeah, I haven't been in ICU for 3 months.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But still, you're in that hospital, and that's that says something. Just quickly, because we got what do we got here? About 2 minutes. Anything you want to say about the election?
Donald Trump is a baby.
Baby Trump, like Baby Yoda. Baby Trump.
But we knew that, yeah.
Well, they have all those things. You've seen the Baby Trump that they put up, they blow up, and they put out.
The one in Britain, yeah.
Yeah, so that's Trump pretty much to a T.
Yeah, it looks like the pig from the band Moody Blues.
Yeah. Okay, the floating pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that Moody Blues? I don't remember it.
No. It was the other one.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, yeah.
Pink Floyd. Yeah, you can't tell the difference between Pink Floyd and the Moody Blues. I'm sorry. They're the same band in my mind. Those were 2 bands I never cared about. Never cared about.
Moody Blues I liked.
You liked them? Okay.
Yeah. Pink Floyd I never got into.
Wow. Hey, listen,
not even The Wall.
Yeah.
Which you would think would be right up my alley.
Yeah.
Hey, you take care.
Yeah, well, I want to talk to you again next week. I want to do,
All
do
right.
this on a regular basis because I consider this GabNet therapy, and we're billing it out today at $500,000. So I'll
Okay,
submit
Bill
it.
SAG after.
I'll send it to I'll send it to Medicare and see what I
No,
get.
SAG after. Send it to SAG after.
Yeah, okay, yeah, like they
Because
care and
Medicare might pay for it.
yeah, yes, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Will Durst. It's so great to talk to you, Will. I'm sure the audience is happy to hear from you too.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too, Will. Bye.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Ah, yes, and we will. Oh, let me turn my lights on here. I forget to do it. I'm getting to be an old man. I forget to turn on my lights. Anyway, that's Will Durst, and we're going to do some more with Will. I think it's good therapy for him, and it's great therapy for me because I get to see an old friend who had an unfortunate circumstance happen to him. It's still being, how can I call it? I mean, his brain is still there, his humor is still there. It's just part of him doesn't work right now. But, give it time. Give it time. I love the man. He did our show here for several years, about every 3 weeks. And I'm glad that we've missed him for a year. In fact, I did play some shows with him on it in the past, over the last year or so. So people would remember the humor and the fun that is Will Durst. And it's nice that we now have him back again. So, and he's in the hospital. And I was calling him for, maybe like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, more than that, maybe 2 months, about once a week. And then we would just talk and talk and talk. And I never brought up him doing one of these recordings with me because I didn't know how he was going to react to that. And finally, I said to him when we were talking, I said, really, we should do one of these things like we used to do, only do from the bed. Would you like to do that? And he immediately, without thinking about it, said, of course. Which just, made me feel so good. Not because I have programming, but because it said something about Will's condition and that he still wants to feel vital and he's going to do things that make him vital. And I just wish I were in California and I could go out. Well, you can't go out to see him because he's in a rehab facility. I don't know, a nursing home. And they don't let people in. They don't even let Debbie, his wife, in. She has to stand outside that window. I don't know if we showed it in this video, but he showed it to me, this window, and she talks to him and holds up notes and things like that in order to see him. So, we love him. We just love him, and it's great to have him back. Well, we only have one person waiting in our waiting room here to talk to us. And it's Charlie Wallace. And what the hell? Hello, Charlie. It's just you and me.
Oh, no.
I don't know what's happened to all the other people.
Well, it's the day before Thanksgiving.
It is the day before Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have done a show tonight, Or I should have
got some people in the chat room. So
yeah, we do have some people in the chat room, like Charlie Wallace.
Megan and Karen.
And my own old friend Karen Babbitt is out there too. She's a comedian that I knew years ago and just a very funny and talented woman. And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I talked to her for the first time in a long time. And we talked about Will. So tonight, she got a chance to see how Will was doing. She's been talking to Debbie from time to time and getting in on the latest haps. Here comes some people. Here comes Josh Wheeler. Here comes Jeff Stein. And so that's a beginning, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a beginning group to make some kind of trouble here tonight. But please call me and invigorate me because lately I've been doing this show and I get tired. And I think it's because I'm just tired of talking about the same crap over and over again. Are any of you getting tired of all the? Well, you aren't, Charlie. You love it.
Yeah.
You love it. Well, plus you're in Texas with that governor who, in and of himself, is a super spreader.
Yeah.
You know, but you got problems there in Texas. They got problems in California. The worst state in the union right now. You don't want to go to Wyoming. 59% of people in Wyoming have COVID.
Holy shit.
Yeah, well, there are
There's only about 2 people.
I was going to say there are only about 5 people in Wyoming, so it doesn't really matter, you know. But I just, you know, it's an amazing situation that's happening everywhere around.
Yeah, we're averaging 15,000 cases a day in Texas.
Really? What do we have tonight? I just had the latest yesterday was we had total hospitalizations 2,982. Out of the tests reported yesterday, 6,262 or 6.2% were positive. So you had how many?
We had 15. Well, we had 20,000 a day.
20,000 today?
Cases, positive cases just today.
Oh, well, we had 6,265. Yeah, you know. We lost 41 New Yorkers. This is all gone up. This is all not good. Oh, look who's here. Look who's coming here. Oh, my God, after all these years. Karen, as I live and breathe, Karen Babbitt. Are you there, Karen? Can you hear us?
Drum roll.
Can you hear us? Okay. So,
yep.
Oh, good. We want to make sure we could hear you, too. How you doing, Karen?
I'm good. It was amazing to see Will. God, that was great.
Yeah.
You know, when I first, you know, I asked Debbie, I said, can I talk to him somehow? And she said, yeah, here's how you get a hold of him. And I got a hold of him and did a FaceTime. And I waited about a week because I was kind of apprehensive. I didn't know what to expect. And what I got was really from the neck up, I got the old Will Durst.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's there, and he's doing great. You know, I mean, he's still got problems. He's not walking on one side. Well, he's not walking on the other side either. He's going through rehab. You know, but who did I just put on here? Who am I talking to? He hasn't even started his audio yet. Hello. Are you there? Can you hear me? Because if I can't hear you and you can't hear me, then I'm getting rid of. Can you hear me? Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll have to get rid of him because
he thought this was the Thanksgiving with his family.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's how I'm doing Thanksgiving.
Well, Karen lives out in California. You're still living down near.
I'm in Ben Lomond.
Ben Lomond, which it's kind of like the taint between the South Bay and what do we got below you? The big city.
So that's that smell.
Well,
I was wondering, man. I go outside. It's like, what? It smells like ass out here. God.
I told you.
Yeah, no, it's in the mountains, in the Santa Cruz Mountains. You know, the hippie mountains.
Yeah, and you've lived there, God. I think the last time I knew you or saw you, I've known you for years, but the last time I saw you was, I think, in that area, wasn't it? In Ben Lomond?
I don't know, but I've been there since 1949.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Wow.
No.
Wow. Yeah. And
Santa Cruz Mountain area, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Right over this hill. I'm in Almaden Valley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's Brian Neary.
I remember Karen from Live 105 days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, Brian.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. He was probably a young boy, Karen.
Yeah, I will.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and you're still a youngster compared to me. You know.
Okay. Well, where do you go? Like the Museum of Natural History? I mean,
That's where I'm. That's where I live.
oh,
Yeah, I live there. They have me in the right next to a Neanderthal. You know, so. But
you know, I don't know what your format is for this show, but I just feel this urge to tell you a really dreadful story about driving to your show once from Ben Lomond's.
go right ahead. The theme of this show is anything we talk about.
Okay, guys, this is rough. So this is like 1992.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when we wore like these paisley spandex jumpsuit things to Alex Bennett's show because there was a live audience.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, dark 100 in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And I'm driving like a bat out of hell because I want to get there for the Alex Bennett show. You know, I want to get on there. And I got up at like, I don't know, midnight to put on makeup and hair and all this stuff. And I'm driving there and it's icy cold. There's like black ice on the road and all. So all of a sudden I have to go to the bathroom, right? And I'm here and I don't want to be late for Alex Bennett, but I have a jumpsuit on, but I got to hurry up. So I run to this gas station, right? And I'm slipping on the black ice and I have an unfortunate accident in my rush to remove my clothing. I had this really bad gastric event. And so
it
now
was a gastric event.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was the worst kind.
Yeah. So now I'm standing in the Chevron gas station, ice cold, teeth chattering, crying because I got to go to the Alex Bennett show. And, you know, if you don't show up to Alex Bennett, when's he going to have you on again? And I'm rinsing out.
Oh, yeah. Like I was going to kick you off the show if you didn't show up.
I don't know. So like I'm in there and I'm rinsing out my clothes, right? Crying 3:30 in the morning. And I get in the car and I'm sopping, flipping wet. Driving to San Francisco with the car heater on, and the steam is now coming off of the clothes, and the smell is coming up because like they don't have laundry soap in Chevron bathroom, and I'm still crying and shit. And so then I'm on Market Street and I find where to park and stuff, and I'm trying to look all, yeah, I'm a comedian, don't have a care in the world, and get to Live 105 and sit down. And I swear, Alex, people are looking at me like, you know, it was, I fooled no one. You
fooled me because I can't remember it.
Yeah, I sat for 3 hours, like right across a table from you with like Yan from Yan Can Cook or something, reeking like it smells outdoors of this house.
Really?
Like a taint neighborhood, yeah.
I must have been doing a lot of coke back then. Because I didn't smell anything.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was. You had energy.
Yeah, well, then that was the coke.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you think I got up every morning and did a show, for crying out loud?
So it wasn't the coffee in the North Beach Cafe. It was. All right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I had a friend who had that same kind of incident happen to him, but he was on a subway train.
Going to your show?
Well, he was coming to work at Sirius XM.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And and he really had to go, and he couldn't find any place to go because in the subways do not have bathrooms.
No.
And even if they did, you wouldn't want to use them, right? So he tried not to do anything, and he went over. And he pooped his pants. And as he was pooping, he just pulled them down and just took a dump on the subway, what do you call it?
Platform?
Station, platform. And he then went to Sirius XM, and he knew where the executive's bathroom was and that it had a shower. And he went up there and took a shower, and somehow, I don't know, he did what you did. He washed his clothes, and they were sopping wet, but he then went to work. Was he
crying?
He was not happy. I mean, to us, when he told us the story, we were laughing hysterically.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't find any humor in the story, you know. So try it in the subway sometime. That'd be good, you know.
Actually, I've been on a subway when somebody was just going for it. Well, he was passed out on a bench, but it was totally happening, and it was dripping off, and it was going down, and like the car moves, and then the stream runs, and everybody's lifting their feet but trying not to look at each other because it's the subway in New York. So you have to act like you're reading or really into your phone.
Come on, you're talking about the romantic days of New York City. You know.
Yeah, March.
You know, actually, the subways, they don't let poor people, they don't let the people who want to sleep on the trains can't sleep in there anymore.
That was a rich guy?
Huh?
That was a rich guy pissing on himself on that bench?
Probably. But
Wow.
the homeless were starting to use the subways as places to stay overnight. And
Right.
then, of course, COVID hit, and that is not exactly the most sanitary thing that can happen. So they chased them all out of the subways.
Oh.
And of course, they
Oh.
wound up in front of my apartment house and
I was gonna say.
brought their own couches with them. It was wonderful. But anyway, they got them out of there, and then they went in, and they took every night from 1 to 5 in the morning. They disinfect all the subway trains. And if you go on a subway train now, and I haven't been on one, and I'm not taking a chance right now, they're supposedly the cleanest the subways have ever been in New York City. Just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. Marjorie took one once, and she said it was amazingly beautiful and clean.
wow.
And there was nobody in the car she was in. You know, and there still aren't because people are still staying away from the subways.
Pizza Rat wasn't there.
There's Pizza Rat. There's Pizza Rat, famous
Okay.
Pizza Rat. Yeah,
Okay.
and then there's me. You know, so I mean, this town it has lost its romance though when there isn't somebody there pissing himself on the subway. You know, it just kind of
Yeah.
takes away all the romance of the city.
And you can't get off until it actually stops, so you just have to let the piss go down the aisle.
And what did you do? Did you go to another car?
I didn't want to move, man. That stuff was unpredictable. Every time the car moved, the little stream would just go, I'm here. And then you kind of move, and it's like, no, I'm coming after you. You just sort of keep your feet up. And
Oh
Yeah.
boy! Oh boy! Karen is amazing. She was a very funny lady and very talented, and she did comedy for the longest time. And then you kind of just stopped doing it.
Mhm.
Why was that?
oh, a bunch of reasons. I don't know if you remember, I had a child that was very sick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very sick. And
I didn't
so
know about that. Yeah.
it kind of kicked the funny's butt for a while there. It just kicked it right out. And I actually went from all that fame and glory of comedy competitions and radio and TV to cleaning bathrooms in a conference center.
Wow.
That's kind of all.
I didn't know
all I
you
could do.
had. Did the kid do okay though in the end?
Yeah, she's 36.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yeah, and she's a real nerd.
So she lived to make your life miserable. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty
much.
much.
Yeah.
But then I went on to teach high school, and I did that for
Yeah.
a couple
But
decades.
you had a pretty good career going for you because you were writing for Danny Thomas at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you told me a story once. I don't know if you want to tell this story.
Oh God, I know what this is. Okay, go ahead.
You know the story? You know what
No,
what
go
I'm
ahead.
referring
You go
to?
ahead. You
No,
go
you
ahead.
can go right ahead and tell it.
No, I want to make sure. I want to make sure it's the story.
Danny Thomas wanted to see you, so you went to his office.
See,
he wasn't there, and you sat on the couch.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, in front of you, you look, and there's a
Yes.
glass coffee table.
You went there.
Huh?
You went there.
is
You
that-
just went there.
is that the
You just
story?
went. You just went
Well, now you
there.
see, nobody gets. Some people don't get the joke because they don't
No.
know the, let's say, myth about Danny Thomas.
Okay, so children, Danny Thomas liked to watch people go potty on glass tables.
Now,
That's not a myth.
was that just a rumor or the truth?
I'm telling you, that office at Witt Thomas had so many glass tables. And I don't know if it was about making a joke about the legend, because that's possible,
That's possible.
or if it was just convenience. Like you wouldn't have to change rooms. It was just anywhere you go, it could happen. So
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. But was Thomas okay to work for?
He was very interesting.
Yeah.
He always had a gun.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Make room for daddy. No, he had a gun. He wore a holster, always was packing. And he would never, like when you're on the set, they buy extravagant lunches and stuff that no one can eat because you're supposed to weigh 3 pounds when you're in show business.
Right.
So he would never, ever, ever eat any food that his wife did not prepare. And it would only be a bologna sandwich. And he would keep the sandwich on the inside of his jacket right near the gun. Not like who's going to club him over the head and take his bologna sandwich? I don't know. But that's where he kept his bologna sandwich.
Was there a reason why he was so into carrying a gun?
Well,
It could have been.
There are rumors about why about who he associated with.
Okay, now
Must have been a friend of Trump.
Huh? What?
A friend of Trump, yeah.
President Trump, yes.
No idea.
No, but comedians in those days worked with a lot of gangsters because that's who owned the clubs.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Well, and the other part of it too is you don't just randomly build St. Jude's if you're not guilty of something.
You're destroying my whole image of Danny Thomas.
That's my job, Charles. That's my job. I'm here to crush your world.
Yeah, wait till you hear the things she says about me, But I don't think you have any goods on me, do you? Maybe you do.
No, but I'll never forget one time, I think it was 1980 something, early in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of us are sitting having breakfast with the Alex Bennett in North Beach.
Yeah.
And you were talking about a recent trip to Spain. And you informed us that it was called Ibiza. And then you proceeded to tell us the legend of the member, the royal king or whatever, who had a lisp.
Right.
And could not say, yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. And so you held court in the mornings around breakfast.
And I told great Ibiza stories. I see.
You told great Ibiza, and everybody was on the edge of their seat.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Alex Bennett has a show on Live 105.
Is that the worst?
Oh my God!
Is that the worst story you can come up with about me?
That's it. And we're like all sitting there, and Stephen Pearl comes in, and his hair is all sideways, and he's all and it's like, I just ditched my car because I can't afford the parking tickets, and it was
wow.
Yeah, it was a strange time.
Alex claims he's poor now because he bought you guys lunch every day.
He paid a lot of money to feed people. That's
well,
true.
I did, but that was not there, not at that venue. Because because at that venue, I had a deal with them, okay, and the deal was that they paid a certain amount of they got plugs a lot on the show, and then I could take people to have food there after the shows, so everybody got breakfast after the show, right, Karen?
Why didn't I order?
No.
Why the hell didn't I order?
I don't know. You should have.
I was just like, I'm broke, so no, I just have a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just thought I'd bring that up.
No, you were super generous, and you bought a lot of food for a lot of people, and it was nice.
Yeah,
and we were hungry.
Well, I tried to.
Super hungry.
Yeah. But anyway, there's one other thing I want to tell people, and please stop me if you don't want to talk about it. Your father was legend in the world of animation. And he was Art Babbitt, who was he considered one of the 9 old men or whatever of Disney?
No, because he was Jewish.
Okay, so he was one of
So it was like 9 old men in that Hebe, kind of. But seriously, there are other people who call him the 10th old man, and he was made a Disney legend posthumously, and there's a plaque of him for him in the Disney Studio Quad.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah.
Because
and in the Presidio, there's a display of him leading the strike against Disney.
he led a
the Disney
strike.
Museum.
He led the strike against Disney, and he and Disney, I don't think talked to him after that. He still worked for a while at the studio.
Well, the agreement is that he would be rehired. That was part of the terms. But what Disney would do is give him very complicated scenes to animate and then slowly rip them in front of his face.
Oh, wow.
Nice guy.
Yeah, really nice guy. Now, here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Two of the things that people have seen all their lives if they watch Disney cartoons, the mean witch, or rather the queen,
Snow White,
in Snow White, the queen who turns into the witch. He did the queen. Am I right?
Yep.
And then he did the dancing toadstools in Fantasia.
I'm trying to show it to you. I have it.
What?
Hop low. One of the mushrooms is on my arm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was a really scary thing to do because I was so afraid it would look like they'd be like, Karen, why do you have a little penis on your arm? But it's actually there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's him.
But what a legacy. So did you...
Well, both of my parents have Wikipedia pages. How's that for pressure?
Let's see. Your mother has a Wikipedia page because of what?
It's a little story.
Everything's a little story with you.
She was Mengele's artist.
Oh, God.
Mengele?
Really?
Jeez.
Because I had a friend who was a movie director.
Who was Mengele?
Who was Mengele? No, who was at Auschwitz.
Oh, really?
And met Mengele.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mengele.
It's a small world
After all. So you and I have 6 degrees, 9 degrees, 5 degrees, whatever of separation now.
6, yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
There
she
you
was
go.
she was Mengele's artist.
Wow.
Yeah, look her up, Dina Babbitt.
Yeah. Well, what did she draw for?
Let's see, drawing for Mengele, bowls of fruit, no. Bouquets of flowers, no. Tortured Jews and gypsies,
Oh man. Oh,
which was a great parenting class.
I
It
imagine.
prepared her for children.
I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't your father marry his first wife? Was the model for Snow White?
So his first wife,
Who was Marge?
he abandoned.
Oh, really?
He
Okay.
was forced into an Orthodox Jewish wedding in Omaha, Nebraska, and he left. He was 16 years old and took off to become a cartoonist for papers in New York. And then his second wife, once he got out to Disney Studios, was Marge Champion,
Yeah.
who just passed away.
Yes.
She was the model for Snow White.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he married your mother, right?
Yeah.
And then came you, and lucky us, here you are.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Here I are.
Yeah. This is our citizen panel. These are people who call
Hi.
the program, and they talk about stuff. Usually lately we've been talking a lot about the political nature of things. Oh, hello, there he is. There's John Larkin. We were worrying about you, John. Are you okay?
Hey.
Here I am.
This is our citizen panel. These are people. You got to turn down your audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Hey.
are you okay?
Yeah, I was in the hospital. I had pneumonia.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that first it was that fucking shingles led to everything.
Really?
Yeah.
God. Well,
100% better now.
by the way, Karen, welcome to Alex's waiting room.
Thank you.
The doctor will see you soon.
Take a number.
Yeah. I mean, everybody here's got something wrong with them.
Yep.
And if they don't, they will soon. So,
Yes.
I mean,
You're doomed.
yeah.
Good.
But anyway, I just hate the fact that you got out of comedy because I consider you one of the funniest people I knew. You
Oh,
were
well,
genuine.
thank you.
You were a genuine talent. Yeah.
Well, there was a ceiling back then
Yes.
that women couldn't go. That you could only go so far.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it was. You were wonderful. You were terrific.
Thank you.
Whenever
you.
I ever saw that you were coming to be on the show, I went, good. It's going to be a good show. You know.
Oh, thank you.
You should meet the rest of the people. Charlie Wallace lives in Texas, and
Hi, Charlie.
Jeffrey Stein is up in Connecticut, who is currently the state that's giving us COVID. And Josh Wheeler is in Ohio. And
hi, Josh.
then Brian Neary is down near you, believe it or not.
Just over the hill.
As is Kevin, who is Kevin. What's the city you're in again? Which one?
In
you in?
Hollister.
Huh?
Hollister.
Hollister.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tony is from Queens, New York. And what you see behind him is the most hideous. Just move your head out of the way so the most hideous wallpaper I've ever seen in my life, along with terrible curtains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he takes care of his mother. That's his.
Oh,
No, don't feel sorry for
love
him.
him.
Don't feel
Oh.
sorry for him, Karen.
no, I was
is-
appreciating him.
How much a year are you getting paid to take care of your mother, Tony?
I get 20 an hour, but I also get overtime. But it helps me sell my comic books too. So
Yeah. Well, how many hours a day do you work, Tony?
I usually work 7 hours. Well, if you can call it work, I feel so embarrassed to say work.
Do you get holiday pay for tomorrow?
Yeah, I get time and a half tomorrow. Can you believe this?
Just for being around the
I'm not
house.
even making it up.
Go
Time and a
for
half.
it.
He's getting home cutting a turkey.
Yeah. So
Alex, look what you made me do. We had to set the table already the night before for my sister. Come on, look at the tablecloth. Can you see?
the tape.
It
Oh
goes
God.
so well with the wallpaper.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I mean the wallpaper's bad enough, but that tablecloth.
She's got flowers. It looks like it's from the 60s here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, my mother saved everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing saw the garbage can.
I often wondered why.
I don't know.
You had no taste at all, and now I know.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, I get it from my mother, really. He's right. Everything you've said, you've pretty much been dead on, I told you.
Yeah.
He's like right on the target.
Karen, Tony is a big comics fan, so he
yeah.
collects
Oh.
comics and he sells them, and he makes a fortune
I do.
selling comic books. You know.
So, you seen Magneto, the Marvel comic Magneto?
Which one? The new? I haven't read anything new with him, but
No,
the old Magneto.
the old Magneto.
the one from, let's see, I want to say 2008. They did my mom's story in the back of one of, there was a Holocaust issue of Magneto, and yeah.
Oh, I like to read. I haven't. I've been reading a couple others. There's so much stuff I want to read that I got to get to.
Yeah.
But I'm a big X-Men fan, to tell you the truth. I was like, that's one of my first things I collected as a kid from the 70s. Was like the X-Men and well, basically Spider-Man and Batman. Really, I'm fanatical with that. Like, and I also like art too, though. Yeah, like America.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And you weren't here earlier, but Karen's father was an animator at Disney Studios.
Yeah, I was listening to it. It was fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is fascinating. But
He's dead now.
so everybody, I hate to ask this question. This is a terrible question to ask, but how do you think things are going for the Biden administration so far? Well, that was an answer, wasn't it? I mean, the president is finally looks like he's trying to get out of the way. So, and hey, he could, Biden could use a comedy writer. Just think about that, Karen. He could use a comedy writer.
Well, I'm thinking about how he pardoned a turkey. Trump pardoned a turkey.
Yes.
And then Michael Flynn.
And then Michael Flynn. I like
But
to
first
say,
the turkey.
No, but the joke there is he pardoned a turkey.
And then
And then the actual bird was pardoned.
Yeah,
I see.
right, or something like that. Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
Yeah, Biden needs a joke writer.
Well, I mean, he lacks a little sense of humor. I mean, who's got a great sense of humor is Obama.
yeah.
And he has timing too. That's the great part about it. I'm going, this guy's a natural. You know, and when he's being interviewed by comedians, he seems to love it because he just launches right into it, you know. And he's
funny.
He's got the whole thing down, you know. I'm terrified of my wife and my child, you know, things like that. And I love it. I just love it.
I'd be afraid. I'm sorry.
What were you saying?
Well, I'd be afraid to see Biden burst into laughter because it's like I just don't want him to have a heart attack.
Oh God.
I don't want to see him get too excited or emotional or
you want him to
like,
just,
ha ha ha, poof.
Yeah.
He's in great shape. You
Well,
see him
he's-
jogging up
no,
on the stage.
He also, well, I think he jogs up on the stage, but that's the most strength he's got for the day. You know, he does
More than
that
Trump does.
to say, see, look at me, I can, you know, but he also rides a bike. He rides a bike a
So I'm
lot.
riding a bike in Delaware.
Yeah, he's in great,
yeah.
he's in great shape.
Oh.
He's
Alex, you know what he should do? Fake a heart attack, like grab his chest when he runs off. Just see what everybody does. Oh my God, this is the big one. I'm just joking. That was for Trump.
who was it? Oh,
He's got to wait till after January 20th.
you know who told me a great story? Grace Slick, when she had a big drug problem, if you may remember, back in the day. And she told me that she quit all drugs, right? But she would get up on stage and stumble on stage and kind of act like she was high, and everybody would start cheering like they wanted her to be high. And then she had to say, sorry, fooled you. You know, and then they all got disappointed. They wanted to see the high Grace Slick. Now, how difficult is it to quit drugs with that kind of reputation? You know?
Yeah.
That's why Jerry Garcia's dead.
Exactly. Exactly. All these audiences are like enablers, you know? And they get people to keep up with their bad habits. And if they try to stop, there are a bunch of people there going, don't do it. So anyway, how you feeling, John Larkin? You feeling better?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
pneumonia from the shingles?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, you know, my immune system just crashed, and that's what I got. But you know, I'm getting it up, getting my breath better.
None of this
Feeling
had to do with
Good
COVID
thing
or
that's
anything.
all you got.
Didn't have anything to do with COVID, right?
No, they did a COVID test when I was in the hospital, and it was negative, so that was good.
Yeah.
They had me on IV, you know, with antibodies, and they did a blood infusion for potassium.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm feeling a lot better. I'm good now.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because somebody mentioned last night, we haven't heard from John Larkin in a few days. And I suddenly realized, no, you hadn't called. And I wondered if maybe you were having problems. But now that you're here
'cause
tonight.
My friend, and then also Alex, what you said too, my friend also had shingles in the back of the head where it was coming to his eye. And they said the same thing, that he could be blind.
I got around my eye once.
Well, you know, the thing with mine is there's really no blisters or anything,
Yeah.
but it just itches and stings like a motherfucker, and
Yeah.
it don't go away.
Yeah.
You know? It's weird.
Yeah, well, all I know is and I've said this before, that when I first heard that I had shingles, I thought it was something that should affect your ass. It just sounds like something that should affect your ass. You know, oh, I've got this horrible itch. What is it? Shingles. You know, I mean, but no, you get it because you had chicken pox as a kid, and I never had chicken pox, or so I thought. But then I had a girlfriend who at 23 came down with chicken pox, and I didn't get it. And finally, when I got shingles, the doctor told me, you probably had it as a kid and you didn't know it. You had like a small case of it.
How do you not know that you're covered in pustules?
Well, that's the way I looked most of the time. So, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
well,
not.
Then that's understandable.
No, are chickenpox pustules?
I just wanted to say pustules so badly.
Oh, okay.
I just really.
You were for all her life, and it's getting extensive now. She has tried to work the word pustules into a conversation, and tonight on this program, she managed to.
Yeah.
It's just one
bucket list.
Oh boy, I should be paying you for all this free comedy tonight. You know. But
I'm just doing it for attention.
I never paid you for the radio show, so why should I pay you for this? You know. What?
That's true.
Yeah, I never did. Why? You want some money now, retroactively?
No, I'm fabulously wealthy. I'm in Ben Lomond.
Ben Lomond.
The accent makes it.
And you still have a house. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
How in your area, because California is really in bad shape right now with COVID. How is it affecting like Ben Lomond? Do you feel pretty safe there?
How would I know? I don't go outside.
Oh, okay. Well, and that answers that question.
Yeah, no, I don't feel safe anywhere at all. I'm a hypochondriac.
Oh, me too.
And it's contagious.
What? No, we could. This could be critical mass here if we ever start going with this.
Really? Is everybody here?
Do you usually?
No.
Do you use this? This look infected to you a lot?
Isn't it time to take your temperature, Alex? Isn't it time to take your temperature?
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah, he does it 2 or 3 times a show.
Yeah.
Dear God, please let it be oral. Please let it be oral.
No, that comes about
Now, here you go.
8:50.
Here we go.
Bend over and.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
He makes us take a COVID test. That's how worried he is.
98.2. What? It's usually not that high.
Oh no.
98.3.
Oh shit! Don't start that.
Uh-oh.
That's it. Go home.
98.3 again. Oh wow.
Have a cup of tea.
Could be because I mean.
Alex,
Yeah.
do you have batteries for that?
If it goes 98.3,
Yeah, I do.
3 or 4
batteries?
times,
Okay.
bend over.
I have batteries for it. Yeah.
Good. You use it so much. Remember, you got to use it tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I have people coming over, and we're gonna do it. Let me see here. Here's my.
You're
email.
having company come for Thanksgiving?
Well, they're people.
We're
that
all
I'm-
flying there.
they're all-
From
Come
South
on with
Dakota.
us.
From South
Pick me
Dakota.
up on the way to the airport.
Didn't you listen to Cuomo this morning?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, your Uncle Joe, just because he's your Uncle Joe doesn't mean he's in your household.
Isn't he the best?
He's the only person I can listen to anymore.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's wonderful because he's so self-pejorative too about himself. But he said that he gives a great speech, and he doesn't. What I felt is that in this whole thing, he's the one reliable source you can get. He's not going to lie to you.
Tell it.
You know, he's not going to sugarcoat it. But on the other hand, he's going to tell you what you can do to help solve it. You know,
Yeah.
and he gives a good pep talk, and on top of that, he's got that whole Queens, New York thing. You know,
Right?
Tony's the closest thing we have to Mario Cuomo on this show, and that's saying something terrible about this show.
Yes.
You know. So. Josh, how's it going out there in Ohio? Huh?
Slowly on the uptick, I think.
So, you sound excited about that.
Pretty similar. Can't change it.
Is it still terrible, the whole COVID thing where you are?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think it's one of the worst places in the nation right now.
Yeah.
They got a couple counties all around where I live that are in that like purple level or whatever, you know, that extra, you know, even extra high level of cases or whatever. So it's been pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm having 2 people over for Thanksgiving. I'm having. No, don't do that. Don't do that shame thing. These are people we know are clean. Okay.
That's what they all said.
One is my friend Shecky, Shecky, and he's not a comedian either.
Wow.
He used to be the film coordinator for the David Letterman show, and Letterman gave him the name Shecky because his last name is Sheckman, and he never called himself Shecky until then, and now all he ever is called by anybody is Shecky. And I feel that if you're in comedy, as you were, as I peripherally was, if you don't know somebody named Shecky, then you're not in comedy. Okay? So anyway, he never goes out. And when he does, he wears a mask. Okay, I know his, and then the other one is our friend Natalia, whose husband last year died. It was Jack Garfine, who was in a concentration camp. I told you about somebody I knew who was in a concentration camp, and she never goes out, never goes through this whole thing. All she's gone out for occasionally is to go to the store to buy groceries, and that's it. So we've got a pretty clean bunch coming over.
That's good.
Payables, receivables.
Kevin, put yourself on mute if you're going to be talking.
I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. That's all right. No big deal. Anyway, so we have two people coming over, and then we have a big dining room table, so there's enough space to give us safe distance, and we have windows will open, and we're going to do the whole thing. But these are a bunch of mask wearers. These aren't people who've gone loose with this thing. But yesterday, I took my life in my hands, folks. I get off out of the taxi, all right, because I had to go to my dentist, and I get out, and there's a guy at the bus stop in front of my building with his mask being used as a chin strap, and he says to me, "Have you got $1?" And I was irritated enough because of some problems that I had with a car service. And I just looked at him and I said, "No, wear a fucking mask." And he started yelling at me, but I just walked right into my apartment. But
should have gone like this.
Huh?
And handed it to him.
It pisses me off. The people just, I don't have to wear a mask. No, I don't need to. What do you mean? Have you seen? There are now 41 people dead every day in New York City, where there used to be none a few months ago. All right? Don't you know, wear the goddamn mask? I just don't understand people. And I don't care if they're bums on the street. There should be people going around saying, here's a mask, wear the mask, But it's horrible. It's just horrible, And I walk down the street, I feel like I'm walking a gauntlet, with people hacking and coughing and sneezing, and I'm wearing my mask, and I get my hand over the mask as double protection, So anyway, so I'm very sure about this, I hope I can keep from getting COVID until I can finally get the vaccination.
That's what we're all going for, right?
Yeah, we're just waiting until the vaccination comes along. And
did anybody here have it yet?
No, we won't. Nobody. They say, I think it's like, is it December 10th or something? They're supposed to give it the go ahead, I believe. And one day after that, they're going to have it shipped out and sticking needles in people's arms. They're going to start with the healthcare workers and the first responders, and people like that. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to do the seniors in assisted living facilities. But, you're not in an assisted living facility, Jeff.
I'm number 3 then.
We're number 3. We're in the number 3 group, which are old farts. I think it's listed like that on the thing. Old farts.
Tony's the caregiver. Does Tony get it quick?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. I might.
Oh, good. I might get one too.
Yeah.
Why? How are you a caregiver? Oh, your mother.
I certified myself to help my mom.
Oh, great.
It's my luck. I'll get the shot, the vaccine. My mother won't, and I'll have a reverse effect.
We'll get in line together.
Then we can see if it works or not. If you start getting some nervous tick.
Yeah. Well, I told Marjorie, is this cruel? I told Marjorie, I said, well, we're kind of lucky because they're going to give it to old people in healthcare facilities first. So if they don't die, then it's safe for us to take it.
Yeah, guinea pigs.
Yeah, they're guinea pigs. And all those healthcare workers, real guinea pigs. But
canaries in coal mines.
Suppose it doesn't work. We don't have anybody to work in hospitals.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh God.
I don't know. I'm hoping.
You are a hypochondriac's best friend.
Oh.
Thank you for introducing all these terrifying thoughts.
Well, it's my pleasure to do it. I mean, every time during you're a hypochondriac, right? So
I think so.
So over the last, how many months has it been now? 9 months. 10 months.
People
9
keep
months.
saying more than it is, so it sounds more dramatic.
But 9 months. But anyway, since February, I've not really gone out to any appreciable extent, except for essential things. All right. Right. Like going to movies. No, I haven't gone out, but I feel I've been dodging this thing, and the hypochondriac in me, man, just I like come home, not only wash my hands, I autoclave them. I mean, it's terrible. And I was never, we've become a nation of, what's the term? People are always washing their hands and
OCD.
We're a nation of people now who have OCD. We're all wearing masks. If we had been wearing masks all along, do you know you wouldn't have been getting colds during the winter?
Wow.
But we wash our hands and we stay away from people. We've all become Howie Mandel.
True. He must be really comfortable for the first time.
Oh, he said, I saw him in an interview. He said, "I told you so."
Do you ever do that thing now where you're watching a TV show and you see people get close and you have this for a moment, you're like, oh, no, you're too close. And it's like a TV show. It's like a sitcom. Do you have that?
Yeah. I what happens is I watch things on TV that were shot a couple of years ago where people are hanging around each other and I feel uncomfortable, because this has really become the incredible new normal.
I actually turned down a film, a short film that I was supposed to do the first week in December because as the numbers were going up and up and up, and they were making all these accommodations, the way they do now. Mm-hmm. You have to take a COVID test, I think 3 days before the shoot. Yeah. And then you have to promise you'll lock down for 4 days, I think.
Yeah.
And then you go on set and everyone has a mask and you have to answer a series of questions. And then there's only a limited time that you're allowed to film. And I got more and more and more freaked out. And they even changed the location from being an indoor shot to an outdoor shot. And I was still too freaked out to do it.
Wow. They do a lot of pre-screening and stuff. Like, we have 4 questions to ask you. Why is this night different than all other nights?
Right.
Why on this night do we relax rather than It's a very Jewish joke. Nobody here got it.
I totally got you. I was with you. All the way.
Except for Jeffrey. Jeffrey knew what I was talking about.
Jeffrey knows.
Yeah. John Larkin, have we talked to you since Biden won the presidency?
No, I don't think so.
Really? It's been that long?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh boy. Because I wanted to get your take on it then.
Well, I was happy as hell, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. I knew Trump was going to act like this exactly. We all did.
Yeah.
So that's.
Isn't it cute, the little baby Trump? The little baby Trump. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's great. I would have liked to have got a bigger margin in the House and the Senate, but we'll see.
Yeah, but you can't have everything. At least we got rid of him.
At least we don't got to listen to that fucker's voice ever again.
I'm so exhausted from the last 4 years that if I never hear his name again, it'll be too soon.
So you don't think he's going to run in the next election?
I don't think he's going to be alive by the next election. Yeah. Okay? Come on. Oh yeah. He's very careful about his diet and his personal habits. He I think is one bucket of chicken away from a heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, when he had COVID, I thought he was going to get it. That's why I don't think Charlie said he didn't have COVID.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm beginning to believe maybe Charlie was right.
Yeah, I'm on Team Charlie.
I mean, he got over it too soon, even with all the medicine they gave him. He was in, he was out. And then he was out campaigning. Now, people who've had COVID, at the very least, have at least 6 months of one problem or another, because it has a residual effect and so on. and he didn't have any of those problems. So I'm with Charlie on that one. You know.
Alex, Yahoo News picked up your piece about the fine print. About 75% of every donation to Trump's election defense fund could be spent on President himself on things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, even Yahoo News is talking about that now.
Well, it's his new job.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's why he's doing that.
Yeah.
Dragging everything out.
Yeah. I mean, he's always sold his name, and he's selling it now to a bunch of yahoos out there who think that this election was stolen. You know. I mean, let's say we did steal it. We just simply stole it back from somebody who stole it. So, you know, it's like, I feel kind of like O.J. Simpson, you know. That's my stuff. I just want my stuff back, you know. So, anyway, you know, it's just, I'm tired of it, you know. And I was thinking, I was watching I heard MSNBC yesterday on the air in the other room, and I went, okay, it's time for them to stop. You know, enough with this already. You know, we won. There's nothing to talk about. At least for the time.
Now they're grinding the Flynn thing into the ground.
Yeah.
Between CNN and MSNBC, they're grinding this Flynn thing into the ground.
Like they didn't expect that he was going to pardon. They didn't expect he was going to pardon Flynn.
This shit's going to go on for another month and a half. It's like
right. Exactly.
There's more to come.
Yeah, but I mean, they keep ginning it up and ginning it up and ginning it up, and in a way, they got him elected in the first place by giving him a whole bunch of free publicity. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's hysterical that there's the first time in history there's a president attempting to pardon himself.
Yeah. Well, the only way I think he can't pardon himself. So there's a thinking that a few days before his term is over with, he's going to resign, so that Pence can become president and pardon him.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Yes.
He's a puppet. He'll do it.
Oh, he'll do it. He'll do it. The only reason he's panicking now and trying to call everything fake and that he really won. Today he said something where he said, I won by an astounding margin. What? Don't you read the newspapers? You know. Don't you see?
No, he doesn't read.
You know, there were. I'm sorry, there was 5-6 million more people than yours that didn't like you. That means you don't get elected. Okay. And last time there were 3 million, but it didn't work. I don't know why. We don't know how he became president, but somehow he became president. But anyway,
I wonder how long it's going to take for Melania to divorce him.
I think I'm saying January 21st.
You think right away?
Oh, I think she's going to be out of there so fast your head will spin, because she didn't want to go to the White House, and the way he got her to go to the White House was to rewrite the prenups. Okay, so she's got a good exit strategy if she needs it, I'm sure. And
Valentine's Day.
Listen, she's a young woman. She still can get somebody who's attractive, you know? So anyway, it's just amazing. Just amazing. Hey, listen, I want to thank you, Karen, for calling tonight. Oops, because it's been wonderful. You're terrific. And would you call again, please, now that you know how to do it and where we are and what we do here? And it's still early.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, but please do it. I loved having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Charlie, love having you here. And Jeff, thank you. And thank you to Josh. And am I going to see you on Saturday at all? We do our little Saturday call together and talk to
Good night.
a couple other people. And let me say goodbye to Brian Neary and to Let's Just Count Again, Kevin and Josh, and it's good to have you back, John Larkin. We wondered where you were, and now we know, and it's all okay. Anyway, everybody, give a big wave goodbye. And I'll give a big wave goodbye as well. There they go, ladies and gentlemen, our citizen panel for tonight. I want to thank them all. I also want to thank our good friend Will Durst for having joined us as well this evening. We'll do it again very, very soon. anyway, that's it. That's about where we leave off. Okay. Next is Jack Bishop. He'll be here, and he's got a nice show called The Intersection. He'll be using Skype, and you can call it a Gabnet Live. And then also, don't forget that I'll be back again here. Let's see here. We won't be on tomorrow night. We won't be back again on Friday, but we'll be back again next Tuesday. Okay? Next Tuesday, right here. We'll be right here in this very place at 10:30. Same time, same station in life. And by the way, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. And more than that, be safe out there and wear a mask and have a safe Thanksgiving. Bye, everybody.